We've had a number of calls to our COVID-19 helpline from pregnant workers, understandably concerned about the potential for contracting COVID-19 in their workplace and the impact that could have for them and their unborn child. We've had instances where employers have told workers to either use holidays or else get signed off sick by their GP if they're concerned about attending work. But this isn't the correct approach. So what should your employer be doing? Well, first, maybe some reassurance. Studies from the UK show that pregnant women are no more likely to get COVID-19 than other healthy adults. Roughly 2/3 of pregnant women with COVID-19, they have no symptoms at all. And most pregnant women who do have symptoms only have mild cold or flu-like symptoms. However, a small number of pregnant women can become unwell with COVID-19. Pregnant women are included within the group classed as clinically vulnerable to COVID-19, and studies have found that certain groups of pregnant women may be at higher risk from developing severe illness and requiring admission to hospital. Now, these include those from Black, Asian and minority ethnic backgrounds, pregnant women over the age of 35, those who have a BMI of 30 or more, and those who have pre-existing medical conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes, and also those who are more than 28 weeks pregnant. And so there are steps your employer should work through to determine how best to protect your health and safety. And this may end up with a decision to suspend you on full pay on maternity grounds. Now, suspension, it tends to have negative connotations in an employment context. For example, someone being suspended pending disciplinary action. But in the context of suspension on maternity grounds, this is a protective measure, one designed to help ensure your health and safety and that of your unborn child. So if you're a pregnant worker, a risk assessment should have been carried out. And to get a wee bit technical about it, this should be carried out under Regulation 16 of the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999. It should consider how to remove, reduce or control the risk of you being exposed to various hazards, and specifically your risk of exposure to COVID-19. Now, the government guidance, it's quite clear that pregnant women of any gestation should not be required to continue working if this is not supported by the risk assessment. So what does that mean in practice? Well, there should first be consideration given to whether altering your working hours or conditions will remove the risk of exposure to COVID-19. If that's not going to have the desired effect, then your employer must consider whether, in accordance with Section 67 of the Employment Rights Act 1996, there is suitable alternative work which could be done by yourself. If there's no suitable alternative work available, then the final stage an employer should consider when seeking to fulfil its duty of care to you as a pregnant worker is suspension on full pay on maternity grounds, in accordance with Sections 66 and 68 of the Employment Rights Act 1996. And that suspension, it can last up until you're 36 weeks pregnant, at which point your employer can trigger your maternity leave if you've not already opted to start it earlier. Now, maternity rights charity Maternity Action, it advises that employers may be able to claim help with the costs of wages while an employee is suspended by accessing the furlough scheme, which is of course in place to help employers who can't maintain their workforce because their operations have been affected by COVID-19. So this, it may be a route down which your employer could go. If your employer is insisting you get signed off sick, that is most likely the wrong route. Apart from anything else, it could go on to have negative consequences for your maternity pay, because your statutory maternity pay is calculated on the basis of average weekly earnings during a set 8-week period. If you're receiving statutory sick pay during the relevant period, then it's going to lower your average earnings and therefore lower your maternity pay. There's a lot of additional information on the Maternity Action website, including style letters that you can send to your employer, setting out your rights. If you need further advice, you can either seek to get that from Maternity Action or else contact us. Our experienced advisors will assist in the first instance, but if it's needed, we also have access to legal advisors who can help further. Our number is 0800 0015 022, or else you'll get us by email at info@scottishhazards.org. We're working tirelessly to help make Scotland a safer place to live, work, and I guess in this instance, give birth.